Just a second. Okay, and we are live on YouTube right now. Great. Awesome. So today we're going to talk about reading books. So what are we going to do? I'm going to send you guys the questions we're going to discuss in the chat right now. Okay. There are in here 10 questions. And we're going to use these 10 questions to start the discussion to talk about the topic here. But just to remember how we're going to do it. We are going to divide into small rooms so everyone gets the chance to talk, okay? And when we get to the small rooms, what do we have to do? We have to remember, first of all, this is not a class. We're not here to teach you, but you are going to learn a lot. How are you going to learn? By observing how other people speak, by practicing the language, and by learning with the other people in the conversation here. So we're going to learn about the topic, we're going to learn about English without having to teach anyone. And since this is not a class, rule number 2 is we avoid correcting people in here, okay? It's a space for everyone to make mistakes, so feel comfortable to do it. That's the perfect place for you to make mistakes. So let's avoid correcting. If the person asks for help on how to say something, feel free to help. And number 3 is we are respectful to each other in here, even when we don't agree with the person's opinion. So let's try to be respectful, to keep the conversation friendly and pleasurable for everyone. Okay, if you guys have any problem and you're in another room, you can come back to the main room and ask me for help, or you can click on the help button and I go to the room to help you guys out. Okay, since we have more people that came after we sent the questions, I'm going to send them again in the chat. Okay, today we're talking about reading books. Awesome. Did everyone receive the questions? Yeah, great. So right now we're going to be split into the rooms. Okay. It's going to be 4 people in one room and 3 people here in the main room with me, so we can have the conversation. Here. So good. Great. Just making sure everything's all right. Okay. Any questions before we separate? You guys are pretty used to TNT, right? Okay, so feel at home, and I see you guys back here for us to finish. Okay. Now, if you haven't been sent to another room, which means you're gonna stay here so we can have the conversation. So let's start by introducing ourselves to each other. And we're going to go alphabetically. So I don't know which letter comes first in the alphabet here. J, Juliana, could you introduce yourself to us, please?
Hi. Hi, guys. Nice to meet you. My name is Juliana. I am 36 years old, and I live in Arraial do Cabo, Rio de Janeiro. And I think it's a 3rd or fourth class conversation here, talk and talk, and I hope I wish you to enjoy a lot this conversation.
That's pretty cool. Okay, so you've been joining TNT, and how did you get here? How did you find TNT?
I've known TNT at LinkedIn.
On LinkedIn?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I follow Felipe in LinkedIn.
Okay. That's pretty nice. Okay, now I understand how I got here. Okay, dude. I hope you like the conversation today as well. Okay. Oh, hello there, Mark.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Well, I had a little problem with the connection because I was trying to join a small group, but I couldn't do it.
Oh, I'm going to keep you here in the main room because sometimes when we try to join the small room with the cell phone, the connection just breaks and we get kicked out of the meeting. So I'm going to keep you here in the main room. Okay. So could you please introduce yourself to us?
Yes, I'm from Spain. This is my 4 times in this type of group in this BBs. Thank you so much for this opportunity for practicing English. One more thing about this.
That is really great. So you're from Spain. That's awesome.
Yes, from Madrid.
Cool. And how did you discover TNT?
In internet one day I watched this in internet and I tried perhaps 3 months ago. I like it, and for the reason I used to join, but I have a little problem due to the time difference between Brazil and Spain, but I used to join, you know.
That is really awesome. It's great to have you here, and I hope you're enjoying the conversations. And I hope you enjoy our conversation too.
Okay, thanks.
Great. Now, I don't know this person. This person is a stranger, right, Michael? Michael is a stranger. I've never seen Michael in my entire life.
Yeah, me neither. Don't know you. Hey everybody. Can you guys listen to me? Do you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, okay. I was having problems with my connection today. I couldn't speak to people, but that's good that my mic is working now. My name is Michael. I live in João Pessoa, in Brazil. I am a university student. I'm going for a international relations degree, and I am currently unemployed, which is really bad. So if you guys have any job offers for me, you can just text me in the chat. And that's all. I believe I have discovered TNT a while ago, like last year, and I used to join like a lot of meetings. I had a lot of free time, but now I don't anymore. So I'm not here very usually as I was before. But now I'm trying to get back on my feet, and yeah, that's it.
So that's why you have been missing my meetings. Missed you, buddy. Nice to have you back here.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
What about you, Vinicius? Could you introduce yourself to us, please?
Yeah, hello everyone. So I'm Vinicius. I'm from Curitiba. I live here as well. I'm a geologist. Now I'm currently employed as well, but I'm studying computer science. And I've been attending here for some sessions, and it's really nice. And I want to improve, not get rusty in my English.
That is pretty cool. So you're a geologist.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, actually, I learned about talk and talk from Endo. You know, actually I saw I have his LinkedIn, and because he's a geologist, and then I saw talk and talk ad, and then that's nice, and I subscribe.
That is pretty cool. It's nice to have you here as well. And I hope you enjoy our conversation today too. So in case you guys don't know me, I'm Junior, I'm 20 years old. I'm an English teacher, also social media. And I've been here on TNT for 2 years already. It's been pretty cool. I love this platform. And also, I love reading. I like reading, enjoy reading a lot. If I could, I spent the entire day just laying in bed and with a book on my face, but I can't. But we're gonna be talking about books today, about reading. So here, I'm gonna make the first question to you, Mark. Do you read many books?
Yes, I used to read. I used to read every day some minutes, because when I go to my bed, it's for me easier not to read if I read something. No? Yes, I used to read. I used to read paper books or ebooks. It depends. I don't have any preference, but I had two type of books.
Great. And how often do you read? Do you read every day, a few times a week?
Every day. I try to read every day, but Sundays could be very difficult because I had to make a lot of tasks. Or for instance, if I go out for all day, it's difficult for me. But if I stay at home, I try to read.
That's awesome. Okay. Now, Mark, could you choose one of the other participants for them to answer the question next?
Could you repeat, please?
Hey, could you choose one of the other guys so they can answer the same question?
Yes, Juliana, for instance.
Awesome.
Okay. I used to read books too, and actually I'm reading a book, and I used to read. I try to read every day, but when I can read, I try to read 3 or 4 times a week.
My microphone was closed. Awesome. 3 times a week is great. It's very awesome. I was trying to read this often, but I've just felt lazy lately. What about you, Jo? Could you choose one of the guys to answer next?
Okay. Vinicius.
Okay, so yeah, now I say like I'm occasional reader. No, well, before I read more books. No, I would say, but when I entered the college, then I need to read a lot of technical books. So was difficult, but didn't get motivated. No, until now I have to read no papers kind of stuff. So then I try to put in the shelves, no, the books. I have a lot of books here that I need to read. Just buy them. No, I have this compulsory thing. No, just buy the books but don't read. Need to read them. That's it. And what about you, Mike?
What was the question again? Can you repeat that, Junior?
Yeah. If you read many books, and how often do you read?
Oh, okay. I mean, last year I was reading a lot because I needed to read to take the university exam, to have like a social cultural background, like to write my essay. And I read like I believe I've read 20 books last year, which was like my record. I've never read that many books before, but this year with university and everything, I'm reading less, but it's because the books I'm reading right now are like thick and kind of massive, so I have to take bit by bit. So it's a lot more technical. So I do enjoy reading, and I think this year I've only read like 3 books to really enjoy reading the book, the story, and everything, and the characters. But I think mainly everything that I'm reading right now is technical and it's for university. But I'm trying to make it not I'm trying to make it like enjoyable for me so it doesn't get like tiring, you know? Like right now I'm reading this book which title is As Veias Abertas da América Latina. It's massive and it's a lot of history, but I'm taking bit by bit. I'm reading like a 20 pages.
His connection is failing.
So I'm trying.
Okay. Oh, okay. Now he just froze.
Yes.
I understand because I think Vinicius is also going through this kind of stuff too. Because I am studying computer engineering, and the first semester the teacher gave us a book like this big about data and structure and this kind of stuff and programming. And so I understand the feeling of like you love reading but you don't actually want to read because it's just massive.
Yeah, it's difficult to follow, no? Like one page takes entire maybe day, no? Depends. Like even for my area, no, geology, like I had huge thick books, no, and sometimes they're just written in English, no, so it was really difficult, the terms of stuff. And then you need to read, no, then you can have time for your other books, no, like fiction, this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Juliana, Mar, did you girls also have like huge books in college that you have to read?
Yes, for example, in my case, when I was studying in the university, I had to read a big books, no, about, for instance, laws, something like this, no. Of some moment you don't feel like to read this type of books. You prefer to read novels or something like this in order not to think a lot, no. But when you have to do it, it's necessary to do it. You don't have any excuse for not do it, no. But in some moments, could be very, very hard for myself, you know.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yes. For instance, if you nowadays I am studying another degree, and I had to read, for instance, about taxes, no, different taxes in Spain in order to pay from the companies, no. In some moment, it's, oh my God, it's very hard for myself, no. But and for instance, for me, the worst thing is when you are reading this type of books, it's only 20 minutes for 2 pages, because you had to read again in order to get all information, in order to understand the meaning of this book, you know. But this is for to get information, not to have a funny moment, no. For instance, you read another type of books, for me it's a funny moment, no, because I can have a good time for myself. But this type of books is only for get information when you are learning.
Yeah. What about you, Julian?
Oh, I am a journalist, and so I need to read every day because I need to know about everything, what happened in the world, in my city. That's it. I need to read every day, a lot.
That's awesome. Cool. So you probably read a lot of news in English too, right?
Yeah. I want to read a book in English. I've never read a book in English, but I want to do this this year.
It's awesome. It's really good. And I strongly advise you to do it. Really, it's really cool.
But now I read some news in English because I try to improve my English and to learn more new words, and that's it.
My recommendation when, for instance, my advice for reading books, English books, as when you started, don't give up, because the first time, I can't understand anything. I had to read again, but no problem. The second books and the third books is easier. Perhaps the main,
Nice.
the more difficult the first books when in English.
Thank you. Thanks, Mark.
One cool thing to do when you're reading your first book in English is maybe to read a book you've read before and you want to read again, because then you already know the context and the story. It helps a lot. Or, for example, if you're reading a series of books, you can read like one of the next book you're going to read. You can choose to read this in English because you're already familiar with the story, with the words, the kind of context. So it helps you to understand a lot too. And if I were you, I would go for novels or fantasy, because technical books in English, they're so boring.
Yeah, there are some books that are bilingual as well, no? You can have like the English one page and the other in Portuguese, no? So then it could be better if you just for a starter, no? But you need to start with like beginner books. So there are some readers levels that you can see, like then I'll start with this and then just advancing, no? It's a good way.
That's great too. Awesome. Now, what was the last book you guys read? And what was this book about? Whoever wants to go first.
For instance, in my case, the last book that I have read is from Isabel Allende. Do you know Isabel Allende? It's a famous writer in Colombia. It's about the Japanese lover, no? It's about the history of a woman. In this moment, this woman passed away. Well, it's a very interesting story of this woman, and I totally recommend. But in my case, I like so much Isabel Allende, this writer.
That's really cool. Is it like a romance or drama?
No, drama, no romance. It's in general, life of the person in general, from a baby to the pass away, and about in difficult years, for instance, in South America, about different signs in the history, and it's good for me. It's good. I recommend it. You like this type of books,
Awesome, great. Can you send the name of it in the chat?
Yes.
So we can take a look later. Thank you. Okay, who else? What was the last book you guys read?
The last one I read was Treasured Island from Robert Louis Stevenson. It's a old book, but it's when they start like the age of piracy. After that, it really have a lot of authors start to writing books about pirating stuff, hidden treasures, buried, and it's really nice. It's a short story, and it's easy to follow. No, it's like it has all these cliches from pirates, not that we see today, but it's from before this book that have buried chest, a guy without a leg with a parrot in his shoulder, this kind of stuff. So a map with an X, this kind of stuff. So, really nice. Recommended.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Pirate books. I've never read pirate books before. That's great.
Yeah, it's nice, man. It's nice. About stars. This one, it's cool. It's one of the main ones in the period.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Could you leave the name of the chat too? We're gonna make a book list.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Michael, Drew, what was the last books you guys read?
The book that I read, like, it was this morning actually. I've talked about it before. It's The Open Veins of Latin America. It's a history book, but I promise you guys that it's not boring. I think it's massive, but it's actually interesting. I really like it. Like, my teacher suggested it to me. but like I sort of read it for pleasure because it's about the effects of imperialism in South America. But if you are interested in it, then you're gonna like it, and I am. So it's like really fun to understand how one thing connects to the other and how the events make sense today, you know? So it's actually really interesting. I am like it's a very pleasurable reading.
Great, that's awesome. I'm not gonna lie, I'm interested in the subject, but I'm pretty lazy about reading this kind of stuff. How many pages do you remember?
I believe it's 500, I guess. But it's like the shortest version is 500 pages. The original one is like 1000 and something.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Nice. Leave the name here for us in the list too. Okay. And what about you, Juliana? What was the last book you read?
It was in Portuguese is Mulheres que Correm com os Lobos. You know? It's a
Is it a poetry book?
what?
Is it a poetry book?
I didn't understand.
Is it a poetry book?
Poet.
Poesia.
Okay. No. It's a connection between the woman and wolves, like way to live, you know, sense and protect her family, and wild lives when it's a how can I say a connection, and the writer explains about the disconnection between the woman and wolf, you know. It's interesting. It's a lot of histories about this explanation, you know.
That's pretty cool. That's awesome. Okay, could you leave the name for us too here? Then I make a list and leave to you guys. The last book I read in Portuguese. In English, the name is All the Way Down. In Portuguese is, I forgot the name in Portuguese. Daqui pra Baixo, which is a book about a boy. He lives in those communities like in Islam, in a bad part of the city. And his brother is killed in the middle of the street. His brother is shot to death. And then there's this very strong culture in the place where he lives that if a person that is next to you is killed, it's your duty to avenge this person. So he gets his brother's gun and he goes to kill the person, to find the person that killed his brother and kill this person. And in the middle of this moment when he's going to kill a person, he enters the elevator, and then something happens in the elevator, but I can't tell you guys because it's a spoiler. But it's pretty cool. It's a great book for you to understand more about the world of young boys, especially young people of color that live in slums and this kind of stuff, and have to kind of try to survive in a very difficult reality, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm gonna leave you guys the.
I have a question. When you say Islam, are you referring to the religion or a place where they live.
To what?
Like
I got
when
lost.
when you say Islam, are you talking about the religion?
I don't know. Slam, like, yeah, the place, like in Rio, São Paulo, this kind of places.
Ah, sim.
But is it a non-fiction book? It's about somewhere stories about someone or?
No, it is a fictional book. It's not
Okay.
a real book.
Okay.
But here, I'm gonna leave. But it's a fictional book. It's from Jason Reynolds. Okay. Oh, you guys can send messages to each other. I'll send to me. So here, all the books everyone sent. This is our reading list.
Okay.
So now you guys can see.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Now, for question number 3, is there a library where you live, and is this library good? Juliana, is there a library where you live?
Sorry, I could hear.
In question number 3, is there a
A
library
library.
where you live in your city?
For instance, I am living in the downtown in Madrid. There are a lot of libraries. Well, they are very good, no? And you can choose a lot of books in the downtown Madrid. But in Spain, it's very common in all villas or town, and there is a small library, no? But in the downtown Madrid, it's very common you can enjoy easier, no? But there are 2 types, no? For instance, 2 types of library. For instance, if you go to the university library, there are books about the different degrees, no? But the other type is in which you can find a lot of type books, novel, whatever you prefer to choose, no? And furthermore, in Madrid are free. You don't have to pay anything. Only it's necessary to have a card in order to because it's necessary to give your name, your number, identification, no more things are necessary, no? So good in Madrid I recommend to go to some libraries. If, for instance, you are not Spanish or you don't have any problem to get in to study, to read books, it's different. If you want to go to National Library, this is a special place in which there are a lot of expensive books. It's necessary to get permission in order to read, and it's forbidden to make a copy. In some books, it's necessary to read with another person in front of you because they are very expensive, and you need to make a document in order. I need to read this book for several reasons, and furthermore, this library thing is good. You can read. It's not good. You cannot read this book.
Ooh.
In Madrid, there is one of this library, National Library. This is the name.
Oh, but at the National Library is probably like very important books, like books
Yes.
about documents and history, this kind of stuff.
Yeah. For instance, you are a student, you need to do a special report or something like this. This is libraries for this, you know.
Got it. That's pretty cool. Nice. And what about you, Juliana?
In my city, there isn't a library, and library like it's a place when we can take books to read, and then you how can I say you give.
Yes. You can like return them.
Or like where I can buy the books.
No, it's the first option where you get the books and you spend some time with the books and then you return them.
Okay.
to the library.
Yeah. Yeah. Here, there was a library, but today they are, how can I say? They are constructing a new building, you know?
Yeah. That's
But there is a, I don't know this word in English, sebo.
me neither.
How?
Do you know, Vinny?
Maybe bookstore? No, I don't remember now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like a used bookstore. Like,
Here, there is a very good sebo. It's a very good place. There are a lot of books, really good.
that's awesome. It's pretty cool. How often do you go there?
I used to go there to buy books, to how can I say, when I want to give a gift to my friends, families. I love to give books, like a present gift.
I want a friend like you.
So I used to go there a lot.
Juliana, do you want to be my cousin? Because people in my family, they only give clothes, t-shirts. I even got underwear, but never books. I've always wanted people to give me books.
Perhaps a t-shirt is cheaper than a book, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about you, Vinny? Is there a library in your city, in the place you live? And is it a good library?
Yeah. There's the public library here in Curitiba. It's nice, no? It has a lot of floors. Not, I would say, like huge library. But no, Brazilian standards, no, I would say. It's nice. You can find some different books there, comics as well, no? You can even play like chess, board games, RPGs, but usually I don't go there because in downtown I live far away. But then I prefer no download books. Now it's over the internet. It's a lot faster, no. So to find it,
Yes.
more quantity as well, no, different books, because they don't. Sometimes they have the book just one. You can like borrow sometimes, no, because just one exclusive for the library. It's kind of stuff. So I think it's difficult.
Yeah, I remember that in the city I used to live, there was a library. There was only one library, and it wasn't really big. It was like just a small room, and they had really cool books. They actually had really good books because, like, in my taste, because I love fantasy books and adventure, and they had a lot of these kind of books. But they only had one of each, and every time I would go to get a book to read, it was already with someone else, you know. Sometimes I will ask, okay, I want this book. When is this person returning this book? And they say, oh no, this person is returning this book tomorrow. I go tomorrow and another person already got the book before me. I was so angry.
Could be very difficult to try to choose one or to get one, no?
Yeah, it was really difficult. I used to go every week to try and get.
Every
All
And
the
then in the
people there, they know, no, the people from the library, and just, hey man, just hide this book for me, then I will go. Probably it's the only way, no, because you go the next day, when they return the book, and there's much
yeah.
coincidence.
Then the good thing is, in the process, I ended up reading many other books because I would go to the library. The book I wanted was already with another person. Then I would get another book and read. Then I would try to get the book I wanted again. So in the process, I ended up the year I read the most. I read 31 books.
Oh my God.
I
Nice.
guess at least 7
Nice,
was
it's
because I
nice.
couldn't read the book.
You
I
like
wanted.
so much to read books, you know?
Yeah, especially adventure. What is your guys' favorite genre? My favorite genre is adventure and fantasy, especially with magic. If there's magic involved, I'm going to read. What is your guys' favorite genre?
Oh, I guess I don't have any preference. For instance, for me, the only reason that's why or because I read a book is when I start a book. Well, if I get or if I feel like reading this book, I continue reading the book. But for instance, the first 50 pages, if I don't like it, I don't mind. I prefer not to continue reading this book. But I don't have any preference.
Oh, nice. And you guys?
Yeah, I really like as well fantasy books, no, adventures. But I also like novels, no, as well. Like if they have like psychological elements, no, I would like. I also like. I forgot the genre. Maybe a crime one, like Agatha Christie, for example. Try to solve mysteries, murders. It's a really nice, no. I think, but I don't know. I think I don't have read out the genres, but they are in horror. Sometimes it's nice, but depends, no. There are a lot of good books there.
Oh, that's really great. And what about you, Juliana? Do you have a favorite genre? Your mic is off.
Yes.
Okay. I don't have a favorite genre, but I like suspense, romance, psychology. I like there is a writer or written?
A writer, great.
Writer, Dan Brown. I like his books.
He's a famous writer in Spain as well.
Yeah, I think everywhere, no, from the Da Vinci Code, right?
Yeah,
It's a nice book.
Yeah, really nice. And I like as Mar said when I start to read a book and I like a lot, I read very fast.
That's great. If I'm not mistaken, but Dan Brown, usually his books are like really big, right?
Yeah.
Are really long.
Yeah.
For instance, in Spain is nowadays very common to read ebooks, no? In your country, in Brazil, is the same, or in your country prefer to read a paper books than ebooks?
It really depends on the person. I'm a person who loves physical books. I have no problems with ebooks. I've read many, but I just love holding the book, seeing the book in the shelf for me is the best thing ever. I've already bought like almost 20 books since I moved to the city I live right now, to my new house. And I haven't read any of them.
It's like me.
But I'm just buying because I love to see the books like in the shelves. For me, it's like the greatest feeling ever. You guys,
And in Spain, it's very common. You can see people reading a lot of books in the underground when you have to go to your job, no, in the public transport, no. But ebook is more comfortable, no, because it's smaller, and you can go and back. In this circumstance, I prefer to read ebooks, you know.
Also, you can read in all environments. For example, if it's dark and then you have you can control the brightness of the screen. It's more comfortable and practical, right? Great. The last question here is not the last question of the list, but the last question we're going to have time to answer. Who are some famous authors from your country, and what are some common themes in literature from your country? I'm going to be honest with you, I don't follow a lot of Brazilian authors, and I don't really know common themes in literature in Brazil.
Yeah, it's hard. Man, there are also great authors. Why for them in high school? No, why do we need to keep with the only Brazilian authors? No, for me, yeah, we need to know the culture, that kind of stuff. But man, I read so many awful books, no, in high school. But yeah, we have some great authors. Like for me, Machado de Assis, it's one of the greatest in the world, I would say. But he had really good books, no. But for the other authors, I don't know, maybe Euclides da Cunha, no, for Grandes Sertões Veredas. It's a nice, I didn't read, but it's a classical. But to be honest, I don't follow Brazilian authors as you know, so I don't know too much. Just reading then some in high school, but I didn't like it the most.
Yes. I actually know one author in Brazil. She's a friend of mine, but she isn't famous.
Not yet, no, not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ju, save us, please. Do you know more famous authors in Brazil?
Chico Buarque is a good writer in Brazil. I had read two books of him, and Nelson Rodrigues too. It's very famous too in Brazil. I like his book.
Okay, that's pretty cool. What about you, Mark? Who are some famous?
Perhaps the most famous writer in Spain is Miguel de Cervantes. Do you know El Quijote? Quijote is an universal books on the world, no? Perhaps this is the most famous writer in Spain, no? But about the rest of the writer, there are a lot of writers, but not so famous like the Miguel de Cervantes.
Yeah, he's very famous there, no?
Yes.
He doesn't have a statue, no? Of Don Quixote in Central.
But if you try to read the Quixote, it's very difficult because the Spanish is not the current Spanish. It's old Spanish. It could be very difficult to understand all words. You have to read again. And furthermore, it's very big, you know. But when you are studying the high school, it's mandatory to read some chapter of the El Quijote, no?
I had to read when I was in school too, but I read a more contemporary and short version of the book because the original one was
because the original so if you need to put this book under a furniture, it's a good. It's horrible, no?
Yeah. Okay, guys. I'm going to be bringing everyone back here to the main room now.
Okay.
So we can wrap it up. Okay. Just before we finish here, while the guys are coming, do you guys know if there are any books that are banned in your country?
Here in Brazil?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Probably this, I would say that in the whole, maybe Europe, from the Hitler ones, no? my camp. I think it's banned here as well. You can find in some libraries, but maybe you need to have some authorization, no, to read. You know, to maybe I think you cannot borrow, just write. I would say this book, no, but it's banned in a lot of countries. But I don't know other books, to be honest.
I think in my country in Spain, no? I don't know. I think no, but I'm not sure. No, it's correct not to say there isn't any banned book, but I think no. You can read whatever you prefer to read. Perhaps it's more difficult to try to find out this book in this library, in a public library, but I think no.
Oh, got it. I just found out something here, guys. Apparently, 50 Shades of Grey was banned in Macaé, Brazil.
Really?
Yeah. Because apparently it was too sexual. Yeah. Apparently, did I see here in Brazil? Only this one, it was like a very specific place. And some other books that were forbidden during the dictatorship.
Yeah.
They were pro-communism or pro anti-government propaganda. So it's like they were forbidden, but only during the dictatorship. Okay. Welcome back, you guys. Thiago, Charles, how are you guys doing? How was the conversation in the other room?
Great. Great opportunity to learn.
Awesome. Charles?
So good, man.
So, okay. Let me ask you guys, what was the last book you two read?
You're mute, Charles.
Yeah.
Oh, I wait for him choose one, but let me go on. The last called the private pilot of Hitler. Yes.
Ooh, I've heard about this book. People say it's good.
Yes,
What about you,
I really like the World War II and everything about.
That's great. What about you, Chad? What was the last book you read?
It was the whole collection of Harry Potter and some kind of Star Wars. But it's a couple of years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years. It's a long time ago. I didn't read some books. Nowadays, I just study. It's a little bit too difficult to me to read some books nowadays.
Yes, I understand, buddy. I love reading too, but I haven't read in a long while. Okay, guys. Unfortunately, I would love to stay here and talk more, but it's time for us to go. There's another conversation that's going to start in a minute. I just left a link in the chat, this link of the survey, the feedback about the conversation. It's really nice if you guys can answer so we can understand how you guys are liking, what we can improve in the conversation. Okay. Thank you all for coming here to practice with us, and have an amazing weekend. See you guys next conversation. Bye.
Thank you.
See you.